Hello and many thanks for joining us. You're watching Addis News Hour with the news. I'm Tabitha John. Do stay with us. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed earlier today had a telephone conversation with Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau. The discussion was centered on current national and regional matters. PM Abiy tweeted, "As always, Ethiopia appreciates a supportive and all-weather friend like Canada," he added. The much-anticipated national dialogue is set to help bring national consensus by putting an end to political conspiracy as well as wrong historical narratives. Talking to ETV here today, a scholar cautioned that unless precautions are taken, the whole initiative may fall into the hands of some political forces wanting to advance their selfish interests. Take a look.
Talking to
TV, Almao Kifle, a historian, said the national dialogue is critical to bring national consensus and reconciliation to the nation.
The
national dialogue came at the right time. We all want to get out of this vicious cycle. This nation still has on its backs obsolete structures which don't go with the thinking and style of the 21st century. We've also been put to the test by unfair relations, economic and political platforms in our country. We must change this ugly politics in Ethiopia. We should rather rely on knowledge and wisdom. Some countries are building vibrant democracy, which still remains a dream in Ethiopia. This nation is fast descending into chaos unless something critical is done. Thus, we have to sit down and discuss the polarized issues troubling the nation.
According to Almao, the initiative helps stave off extremism and undo external pressure. He also pointed out the pitfalls of targeting ethnic issues, adding more focus should be placed on policy and national issues.
We need to put a stop to political conspiracy as well as polarization. The national dialogue will create conducive political atmosphere to do so. If all issues are duly addressed, then there will be no opening for double standards and conspiracy at all, because the national dialogue capitalizes on common agenda. The national dialogue should prefer policy issues to ethnic differences. It must also find a way to arrest contraband activities and economic sabotages. We have to build a vibrant economy that creates more job opportunities by bringing democratic leaders. We must also practice democracy to the extent of fully appoint and removing our political leaders.
He called upon all political actors as well as the general public to give deep ears to.
Various scholars announced that an all-inclusive national dialogue is the last healing platform to take Ethiopia out from recurrent crisis. The scholars told ETV that the newly established commission ought to strive to further tackle the problems across the nation and to bring an everlasting solution for the nation's democratization. Meanwhile, they added that discussions on the constitution have to be the prime agenda of the aspired national dialogue in Ethiopia. Take a look.
So many issues which the national dialogue has to cover, in our opinion. Maybe the agenda items which will be discussed will be raised by participants of the national dialogue, but constitutional matters are the primary concern. There are so many constitutional issues which the national dialogue has to address.
I think the Commission should be able to facilitate a dialogue, a conversation among these different political entities. and particularly those who are directly involved in the current violent conflict.
ልትጎበኙ የሚያጓጓ በርካታ ነገር ይኖረናል። አሁን ቀጣይ ጉዟችሁ ወደዛ ይሆናል። መልካም ቆይታ አብራችሁ ነው። እንኳን
Yes sir.
ኦሮሚያ ዳወና ወልረዲ ያስፖራ
Volcanoes, acidic pools, and salt lakes.
Welcome back. You're watching Addis News Hour. High-level government officials led by Minister of Finance Ahmed Shide visited Desse and other areas in South Wollo zone to assess the damages caused by the terrorist TPLF group. The delegation, which included other ministers and chief administrators of Amhara regional state, evaluated the devastation TPLF caused during the days of its incursions of the areas. In his remarks, Ahmed said the damages TPLF inflicted in the areas show the cruelty and how the terrorist group is a threat to the country. He appreciated the efforts made to rebuild schools and health infrastructure destroyed by the group, according to South Wollo Zone Communication Office. A scholar and political activist says Ethiopians should join hands in withdrawal of any support for the head of the World Health Organization, Tedros Adhanom. The activist Ephraim Madebo told the Ethiopian press agency that Ethiopia needs to expose to the whole world in black and white terms the real identity of Tedros Adhanom. Johannes Fantahun has more on this. Take a look.
The WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom has been fully engaged in soliciting diplomatic and military support for the terrorist TPLF in many parts of the world. Tedros, who has been serving in his position at the WHO since 2017, was a member of the TPLF's powerful executive committee. He was also Ethiopia's health minister from 2005 to 2012 and Foreign Affairs Minister from 2012 to 2016. The Ethiopian government had been well aware of Adhanom's activities since the beginning of the National Defense Forces law enforcement operation against TPLF, which is entrenched in the northern Tigray region. An Ethiopian politician, Ephraim Madebo, said the Ethiopian government should work to cancel all support to the head, who has been a great disappointment to Ethiopians given his double standards and abuse of power. To this end, Ephraim underlined the need to work with stakeholders to ensure that Tedros Adhanom does not get re-elected. The politician urged the government to use all the legal and diplomatic tools at its disposal, lest Adhanom could do more damage to the nation by abusing his power at the head of the international organization. He called upon the government and all other concerned bodies to pressure Adhanom to desist from officially reflecting on Ethiopia's development. He recalled that Ethiopians had strongly opposed to Adhanom's candidacy to the top position at the WHO back in 2017, given his background as an executive committee member of the criminal TPLF. According to Ephraim, Tedros Adhanom remained a full-time diplomat for TPLF all through the 14-month-long war. Adding this speaks volumes of the fact that he had neglected his responsibilities to represent Ethiopians. Adhanom's support for the terrorist organization poses a threat to Ethiopia's diplomacy, FM said, adding that his act has repeatedly undermined Ethiopia's interests.
Head of United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, UNOCHA in Pakistan, said that even if the United Nations is supposed to respect a country's sovereignty and work within that sovereignty to pursue peace, some individuals in the system have been pursuing their own agenda. Kasahun Janni presents the details of that story compiled by the Ethiopian news agency.
In an exclusive interview with the Ethiopian news agency, the head of United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs in Pakistan, Charles Farmer Cole, said the United Nations is supposed to respect a country's sovereignty and work within the sovereignty to pursue peace. The head stated she does not think the United Nations is the one doing as an entity. Lamenting the United Nations might be playing dirt, and that is not the United Nations role and mandate, adding abusing United Nations rules is not acceptable. Cole underscored the outrageous power abuses persons in the United Nations system apply to harm Ethiopia, noting OCHA is supposed to be neutral and it does not have any political connection to any issue. Rather, it's just that it addresses the needy people affected by any crisis. As per Cole, though the terrorist TPLF had inflicted huge devastations on health facilities, including hospitals, health centers, and health posters in Amhara and Afar regions. Yet the World Health Organization, which is supposed to be the prime advocate of people's health across the globe, has said nothing about the damage. Instead, WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom publicly has been disseminating entirely false information about the situation in a country by siding with the terrorist group. The head commented that if any person is abusing the United Nations mandate, which is to promote peace, then they should be held accountable. Nobody in the United Nations had the right to use the United Nations to promote strife in any country to pursue personal agenda. Anybody doing that is contravening the rule of what the United Nations was created to be. These are things that individuals could do and not the United Nations. In terms of resolving current problems in Ethiopia, she said it was a media narrative of conflict that was pushed on Ethiopia externally and was exaggerated from the outside. According to Okoro, Ethiopia has a history of strong governance and needs to be maintained, adding that she does not doubt the capacity of this country to manage this situation because to a large extent, as she has said, it was a Western-driven war narrative. It has been driven by a narrative fueled by the media from the West, and there is not going to stand anymore, she said. The head also emphasized that Africa and the Middle East as well are missing membership in the United Nations Security Council permanent seats, and they must continue to push. They need Africa to be part of the permanent seats, she insisted. Indeed, the Security Council has 5 permanent seats now, and they need to have at least 7. According to her, colonialism has ended, and a colonial permanent structure cannot be kept in the United Nations. Africa needs to be represented in the permanent United Nations Security Council. There is simple and non-negotiable as to her. Okoro brings over 20 years of experience leading the humanitarian and development work of the United Nations in Africa and civil society groups and jobs in Canada, and she also worked in Ethiopia for 4 years in the United Nations institution.
The Ministry of Tourism announced that preparations have been completed for the upcoming Timkat holiday in the historic town of Gondar, up north in the state of Amhara. Timkat is to mark the baptism of Jesus Christ in the river Jordan. People travel to Ethiopia to take part in the Epiphany, which involves processions, singing and dancing. Katara, the eve of Timkat holiday, will be celebrated on Tuesday. State Minister for Tourism Salamawit Dawit said Gondar awaits its guests with open arms, adding thousands of the diaspora as well as other Ethiopian participants in addition to tourists are heading to the venue. Take a listen to her.
ልዩ ልዩ ዝግጅቶች በጎንደር ይካሄዳሉ።
The celebration of Timkat holiday in Gondar will feature art workshops, cultural exhibitions and panel discussions to provide useful information about the investment potential of the state and other events. We called on the diaspora community to participate on those programs in the town of Gondar.
የጥምቀት በዓልና ሌሎችም የኢንቨስትመንት ፖቴንሻልን የቢዝነስ ፖቴንሻልን የሚያሳዩ
Salamawit added that the celebration of Timkat at the historical town of Gondar is aimed to stimulate the tourism industry of the country that has been highly affected by the coronavirus pandemic and the war.
የዲያስፖራ ወደ ሀገር በዚህ ቁጥር መምጣቱ
The influx of the diaspora who returned home has a great meaning to revive tourism industry of the country. It has also created a significant occasion to revamp the local market in the areas of cultural outfits, hotels and other service sectors. We will redouble efforts to sustain this progress.
ይሄንኑ እንዲቀጥል በሚያደርግ መልኩ በየጊዜው
In business news, members of the Ethiopian diaspora residing in various parts of the globe have expressed their readiness to invest in the productive industry to help revamp the economy. This came when the Minister of Industry discussed with diaspora who have the interest to invest in the country. Shagayu Ematau has more.
Diasporas residing in the United States and Europe told the Ethiopian news agency that since there are still a number of untapped sectors and plenty of natural resources, there is an opportunity to invest in Ethiopia.
ዝግጁነት ደረጃ we are ready, we are here. የመጣነውም ዝግጁ በመሆናችን ነው።
We are here because we are ready to invest. We have ample experience in Europe and US. We also have enough capital. We know where the market, the resource and the funds are. Every one of us is ready to invest in the country if the government creates an opportunity. I work in the entrepreneur and development sector and have been promoting leather products. The country offers plenty of opportunities. There are opportunities for the diaspora to assist the country and benefit themselves at the same time. There is a huge untapped market as well. And also there are ample resources. Based on that, we can develop our country. The diaspora has always been ready and on the alert for the incentives and opportunities facilitated by the authorities. For my part, I am ready to do whatever I can.
And now on to the latest foreign exchange rates.